Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to go over paragraph indentation and sorting. So I've got a plain document here, and let me go and add a few paragraphs. I'm going to do that technique where I type in equals, lorem, parentheses, and then I'll put in the number of paragraphs, comma, how many sentences per paragraph, closing parens, press enter, so now I have some fake paragraphs to work with. So when you're working with paragraphs, I want to draw your attention to the indent markers on the horizontal ruler. By the way, if you don't have a horizontal ruler, look at your View tab, and there's a checkbox for the ruler up there. So I've got the horizontal ruler, and over here on the left, I've got some indent markers, and there's an indent marker over here on the right. And you need to know the difference between all of them here. The first line indent controls indentation of the first line of a paragraph. The hanging indent controls all the lines except the first line, and the left indent controls all the lines. And then over here on the right, it's a right indent marker. So we've got this little hourglass with a base. First line indent, hanging indent, left indent, and then over here on the right is the right indent. Now when you want to affect a paragraph, just one paragraph, you can just click on that one paragraph. If you want to affect multiple paragraphs, then you need to select the ones you want. So I could double click in the left margin, hold on the second click, drag down, and now I've selected 4 paragraphs. And if I were to click and drag the first line indent, it will literally indent the first line of those paragraphs, whether they're short or long paragraphs. First line indent. And you can just eyeball it and see where it lands on the ruler. Now you can press the Alt key while you click and drag that indent marker, and you'll actually get little inch measurement markers on the ruler, so you can get a little bit more precision. If you needed even more precision, your best bet would be to, after selecting those paragraphs, go to the paragraph dialog box, and you can check indentation here by going to Special, Indentation, First Line, and putting in a specific number you want. But I like to use the ruler whenever possible. So that's the first line indent. Now, of course, hanging indent indents all the lines of the paragraph except the first line. So you would use a hanging indent if you were doing something like a bibliography or works cited. And last but not least is the left left indent, and thus the right indent. I'm just going to click on one of my paragraphs and pretend it's a block quote, a longer quotation. Put my cursor on the base, move the left indent, then I'll move that right indent over an inch. So now it's indented on both the left and the right, full paragraph indentation. Excellent. So let's go back to another kind of similar situation where we might want to sort our paragraphs. I'll just go ahead and create a new page, and I'm going to create a number of new paragraphs. I'll do the old lorem. I'm going to create 20 paragraphs, and I'm only going to put 3 sentences in each one. And let's use our imaginations for a bit and pretend that these are bibliographies of a work cited. So since they're bibliographies of a work cited, I'm going to select these paragraphs, and I'm going to give them a hanging indent of just about 1/2 inch. Now, something you're going to want to do with your works cited is you're going to want to alphabetize it. So instead of doing that manually, instead select all of the paragraphs that make up your bibliographies. And then you can do this in a couple ways, but the easiest is right up here on the home ribbon. There's a little A to Z sort. And did I lose my paragraph selection? There it is. I click A to Z sort. I'm sorting paragraphs. Word knows that I've got paragraphs selected. I'm going to sort them in ascending order, A to Z. I'll click OK. And by the way, make a mental note before I click OK. They're obviously not alphabetized here because it's L, N, P, A, S, F, D. I click OK, and now they're sorted A, C, 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 D, D, and so forth. So that's a quick and easy way to alphabetize your works cited. And by the way, common student mistake is to use empty paragraphs. Just pressing the Enter key because you want a line space. If you have empty paragraphs, it will keep you from easily sorting out your paragraphs later on. So another reason to avoid using empty paragraphs to create line space. All right, so use your indent markers carefully, use them for how you intend to use them, and then you can use paragraph sorting to alphabetize lists.